Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, where I'm always breaking down the hot sports topics of the day. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my Around the League videos here for Saturday, March 23rd. This video for the AFC West. Be sure to check out all my other videos, guys, and be sure to subscribe to my channel to get all of my videos uploaded directly to your inbox. First, in the AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs, number one pick overall in the upcoming draft. The popular thinking is that they'll take Luke Joeckel, number one. They were in College Station, Texas recently, working out Luke Joeckel and defensive end pass rush specialist Damontre Moore from Texas A&M as well. It'd be interesting to see if Moore slips to the second round, maybe if that's someone the Chiefs will add. Being that they worked him out, they obviously have some interest in him. If Moore should see his value plummet all the way to the second round, which I don't think is likely, maybe they'll have interest in him. But obviously Andy Reid and the front office's visit to College Station was for Joeckel. It was interesting to see the workout because they had Joeckel going against Damontre Moore in drills, which is interesting to see because very rarely does a school have a left tackle and a pass rusher at that level coming out the same year. So probably let this in competitive drills. I would be very surprised if you don't see Joeckel go number one based on the different moves the Chiefs have made in the offseason, franchising Brandon Albert, releasing Eric Winston. I think it's a foregone conclusion now, at least in my mind, that they take Joeckel number one overall. The Denver Broncos, they had the situation with Dumerville obviously lurking, but something else I thought that was interesting that I was reading was the organization as a whole, most notably John Fox, coming out and saying they're going to stand behind Rahim Moore. Rahim Moore, the safety that had a brain fart is probably the best way to put it, in the angle he took to Jacoby Jones on that 70-yard bomb of a touchdown pass in the AFC divisional round. That Jacoby Jones touchdown led to the game going into overtime, and the Ravens obviously ended up being victorious. And, John Fox says they're going to stand by Rahim Moore. He thinks Rahim Moore got a lot better as the year progressed last year, and he saw a lot of improvement from year one to year two for Moore. My question is, though, how does Rahim Moore respond? How does he come back here the season after that catastrophic play? And is he able to sort of put it behind him and move forward with his career? I mean, you have countless examples of players in every sport where they make one big mistake that they will essentially become known for. Let's face it, even if Rahim Moore ends up having a nice career in the NFL, it's going to be hard for him to shake being known for that Flacco to Jacoby Jones touchdown pass in the playoffs. But, I hope he can come back and put this behind him and continue his career because, it's a shame when that does happen where mentally things just get to these guys that affect them forever. But, the organization's behind Moore, and we'll see how he comes back this season for the Broncos. The Oakland Raiders, look, the Raiders were one of 14 teams at Shariff Floyd's pro day. Shariff Floyd is thought to be the best defensive tackle in this draft. He's from the University of Florida. Him and Star Lotulelei really battling it out for that top defensive tackle spot in the draft. Lotulelei with some health problems. We'll see if that affects his stock at all. But, I think Floyd would be an excellent option for the Raiders at pick number 3. They've done a lot to shore up their linebacking core with Nick Roach, Kayuka Maiva. They've done a lot in that respect. They have some glaring holes on the defensive line with Richard Seymour and Tommy Kelly no longer with the team. So I think Shariff Floyd is the best guy that fits their system available, and I think he's the pick for the Raiders at number 3 as Reggie McKenzie and Dennis Allen continue to rebuild that defense. And I think they're putting together a pretty good defense now. But of course, like a lot of other teams, the quarterback position for them is questionable. They'll have to upgrade there. And then as they get a new quarterback, which I think will happen in the draft this year or most certainly next year, they'll just have to start to build, receivers, tight end, build skill position players around them. But I think now it's good to focus on one side of the ball, get Floyd, start building up that defensive line as well. The last NFC West team here is the San Diego Chargers. The Chargers continue to make little moves to improve their team. They haven't made any blockbuster moves. Like, for instance, they got Rich Ornberger, the offensive lineman from the Cardinals. Offensive line, a big weakness of the San Diego Chargers. You get Ornberger back with Ken Wisenhunt. But one move I think the Chargers should look into making is, they had Eric Winston in for a visit. I think it was around March 10th or March 11th when he was, shortly after he was released by the Chiefs. And, I think he makes a lot of sense for a team like the Chargers. Winston can come in, play offensive tackle for them. He's a solid option. He won't cost too much money. And I just think with the needs this team has on the offensive line, there's a quality guy out there in Winston that won't cost too much money. I think that's a guy they should really, really, really take a look at bringing in. I think he'd be a solid addition, be a good guy in that locker room. And again, I think if you give Phillip Rivers time and you get him a better offensive line, I think he can return to the Phillip Rivers that we saw earlier in his career. The last 2 years, that whole situation with Norv Turner and AJ Smith just got a little bit out of hand. And I think now with this new leadership in place, I think you're going to see once they get him aligned with Ken Wisenhunt as his offensive coordinator, I think you're really going to see Phillip Rivers get back to the Phillip Rivers of old. And I think picking up a guy like Winston will go a long way in making that happen quicker. That's my rundown on the AFC West for today. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. And guys, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks again for listening, and have a great night.